Thanks for staying with us now. We haven't had a sweet treat, we swear, since Christmas, but that is all about to change.
Don't worry though, we're still trying to stick to our resolutions. We have a non-fat angel food cake on the menu. Krissy Gibson from Take the Cake is with us. An angel cake, Cade Shin, what's that now?
Angel food cake, and yes, I think in Ireland it is called angel cake because you can find these pans around here, and anytime I've seen one, it says angel cake. I'm used to calling it angel food cake. But these angel food cake is basically made with egg whites. There's no fat in it. Okay, so it's not sugar-free, it's not dairy-free, it's not gluten-free. It is fat-free. So it's a good time of year for something like this because a lot of people are kind of cutting back on the desserts.
Sure.
But, you know, there aren't a lot of fat-free options with desserts.
No.
You've got sorbet, what else?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, sometimes I want
cake.
Sometimes I want cake, though. So this is a fat-free option for cake. Egg whites. We start with egg whites. It's about a cup and a half of egg whites, which is about 400 milliliters.
Okay.
And you whip those up on high speed for about 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I cheated. I did this.
Stiff peaks?
Exactly. Beat them up to
Great
stiff
series, that.
Stiff what?
Stiff peaks.
Stiff peaks.
So they're not just going to double in size, they're
Lynch
going
series.
to octuple in size. They'll be almost 10 times the size they started out as. So once you've got the stiff peaks, you are going to add about 4 grams of cream of tartar. That'll be our stabilizer.
Cream of tartar.
And that's about a teaspoon. And then just the tiniest bit, and I'm talking a half a teaspoon, maybe 3 mils of vanilla extract and almond extract.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Now, this is important. It's just 3 mils. It's not a lot. But the almond extract is kind of what makes the angel food cake traditional.
Okay.
This is how you get angel food cake in the States. Now, there are variations on this. You can add, say, cocoa to it, which I'll get to in a minute, and make a chocolate angel food cake. If you ask me, this version of the vanilla
is the way.
is the best. Absolutely.
This is more traditional. Okay.
It is. And it's perfect to serve with a coulis or just fresh berries. Now, some people, like myself, are really naughty and they put chocolate frosting on the top or maybe some freshly whipped cream. Freshly whipped cream is great.
Do we have to wait till February to do that?
Yeah. Or July.
Apparently, but my diet only lasted 12 hours. So now we've got our stiff peaks with our cream of tartar and our 2 extracts.
God, that's a lot of sugar.
Here we have 380 grams of sugar. So, like I said, not sugar-free, and about 200 grams of self-raising flour. Now, actually, I think I put 200 grams on your website, but you could go a little less.
Okay.
You know, anywhere between 180 and 200 grams of self-raising flour. Now, this is just a tiny bit of salt. It's about, say, less than a gram, maybe a quarter teaspoon, not a lot at all. So we're just going to mix these up. If you decide to make a chocolate angel food cake, this is the part where you add your cocoa.
And how much would you put in?
You know, I think I put 30 grams on your website, but you could add more. You find recipes for chocolate angel food cake that only call for 20 grams of chocolate. This is a very mild, very light, fluffy cake, and so all of the flavors are light, including the chocolate if you make chocolate. So if you feel like a deeper chocolate in your cake, just add more cocoa, maybe 40 grams instead of 30.
Okay.
So now we're going to fold in the dry ingredients. If you happen to have a stand-up mixer, you can change from your whisk, your whisk attachment to the K attachment. You can use that, or you can just take the bowl off and fold these in. Okay.
With a wooden spoon. Or
with a spatula.
I use a spatula, yeah. So I'm just going to do half for now and fold them in. And this way, you just kind of go around the sides like this, and very gently. The idea is to not, you know, we don't want to.
You want to keep all
ruin
the air
the integrity
in there, don't you?
of the So you want to go as soft as you can. If you do use one of these, just keep it on the lowest setting. And something that I wrote on the recipe on your website is that it's just fine if you don't have a stand-up mixer. You can use an electric hand mixer. That'll do the job to whip your egg whites to stiff peaks. But when the time comes to do your flour, you want to fold it in. You don't want to use your electric mixer for that part.
And you don't do it all at one time. It's bit by bit.
You could if you want to do it all at one time, but you just want to be careful. We're just being really gentle with it. That's the main point. Now, like I said, it's a non-fat cake. So we are going with a dry pan, okay? Now, usually we would butter a pan or we would spray it with oil. We're not doing that. Now, this is my old my old faithful. This was my grandmother's. And
Was it really?
yeah, and look, it's been beaten up.
That has seen a lot of cakes.
It came over in my suitcase once.
Wow.
So just make sure that your pan is non-stick. If you don't happen to have an angel food pan, you can use a bundt pan, or maybe a springform pan.
That's what it is, bundt cake.
Yeah.
Normally in that
Yeah.
shape.
Which we did before Christmas.
That's right.
Yes.
It's the upside down thing.
Very
That'll
good.
work.
Well,
That'll
John,
work.
you
Just
were listening.
remember, just remember that you're not greasing your pan. So whatever you have it in, whatever you have your cake in, you've got to be able to get it out.
Okay.
All right, now,
so it has
not
to be
that tricky.
non-stick.
It's going to be non-stick. It's not that tricky to get out, but you do just want, you don't want to set yourself up for frustration.
It could break and crumble.
So here we have our batter. It's all done, and I'm just going to put it in my dry pan all the way around. You don't want to overmix. Just make sure that your flour, all your dry ingredients are nicely blended.
Okay.
And we're going to put it in the oven. Now, you could preheat your oven if you want, but if you have an oven that you feel runs hot, some people say that. I've got a really hot oven.
Yeah.
If you've got one of those ovens, go ahead and put your cake in a cold oven. And then turn it on after you put it in.
Okay.
But if you've got a nice even fan oven, preheat it to 160, and you're going to bake it for about an hour. Okay, and you'll know it's done because it'll be nice and golden
Full.
brown on the top.
Like so.
Okay, now you notice how these angel food cake pans are really high.
Yeah.
That's because the cake is going to rise a lot. Okay, and there's no grease around the sides, so you've got to take a butter knife, just a plain old butter knife. Go around the edges. You're going to want to remember to get around the edges inside as well. Now, I cheated with this a little bit before we started. Let's see, I didn't leave myself another plate. That's okay. So you'll flip it over, and you can either leave it just like this, or
Upside down?
yeah, either way, whatever you like better. And when you go to cut it, don't be surprised if you try to cut it with a butter knife. You're gonna no.
Yeah, it needs
You're gonna need
edge.
a bread knife, okay, a serrated edge. So I'll do this one over here. So you're gonna be sawing it like this.
Ah, right.
All right.
It won't cut straight down.
Yeah, as you can see, this is a really light, fluffy, innocent, angelic.
That looks like
cake.
if you dropped it, it would bounce.
And you made a little strawberry coulis to go alongside.
Yeah, exactly. So if you like fresh berries, if you like sautéed berries, you can here we have raspberry, we have strawberry here, and you'll notice the texture right away. It's
very spongy.
It's very spongy, and it's really easy to sit in front of a TV and just tear off pieces of that over and over again and go through the whole cake. So, you know, if you live alone, you might be cursing me later on if you make this.
It kind of has a bread consistency, doesn't it?
It
It
does.
does.
It does.
It's lovely and sweet, and the almond is gorgeous in it.
You don't want to skip the
And
almond.
the vanilla.
Almonds
Yeah.
is the key
And
to it.
I would imagine that if you used orange extract instead of almond, that might be nice too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's gorgeous, Krissy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you
All the
like it.
details, full recipe details are on our website. Of course, you can check out Take the Cake for more of Krissy's wares. Gorgeous.